Know the top stories of the day. Understand the issues that matter. This is Manila Bulletin News on Web. Your quick rundown of top news in the country and around the world. Manila Bulletin, celebrating 120 years of timely stories and timeless truths. Be fully informed. Hi, I'm Barbie Atienza. This is MB Now, and here are your news on web. Addressing the nation on Monday, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte expressed his worry on the supply of vaccines in the country, especially for the second dose of jabs. The president also offered to provide face masks to every Filipino to help keep the coronavirus disease from spreading in the country. Our Malacanang senior news correspondent, Jeneline Cabiling, has this report.
President Duterte is worried if there will be sufficient supply for the second dose of the coronavirus vaccine for recipients in the country. This is after the efficacy of the vaccines will require 2 doses within a certain amount of time. Addressing the nation Monday, Duterte noted that the country has so far received limited vaccines donated by China and those sourced from the World Health Organization's COVAX facility.
How about those needing already the second dose? There's a problem there. Sabihin mo, gamitin na muna para sa first dose na hindi pa na bakunahan. Well, that's good. But the problem is, the second dose would come from the future deliveries. Okay yan. Ang problema, ang next problem is baka hindi dumating. Ano ngayon ang on time? I'm sure that everybody, especially the World Health Organization, must know our quandary na gagamitin natin.
In the meeting with the President, Health Secretary Francisco Duque III recommended the distribution of all AstraZeneca vaccines as first dose to benefit more health workers. He said the country could expect the delivery of more vaccine supplies from the COVAX facility in time for the second dose of these beneficiaries. AstraZeneca vaccine recipients are set to receive the second dose in 12 weeks. On the Sinovac vaccines, Duque assured there will be sufficient allocation for the second dose of vaccines for the recipients. The second dose is given 28 days after the first vaccination. Meanwhile, the President has offered to provide face masks to every Filipino to help keep the coronavirus disease from spreading in the country.
We have to provide the mask for everybody. Kung yung tao walang pera mabili ng mask, how do you expect compliance from him? So, kung kailangan na we ask the people to comply, we also look into the possibility that they cannot buy it. So, government sa panahon ito must provide.
Duterte has asked the Department of Interior and Local Government, as well as barangay captains, to help with the face mask distribution in the communities. Mask wearing is one of the minimum public health standards enforced by the government to curb the spread of the coronavirus. Wearing of masks has become mandatory in the country since April 2020, based on a decision of a government task force in charge of addressing the pandemic. Local government units have also issued ordinances on mask wearing as well as penalties for violators. Before the President ended his address to the nation, he assured Filipinos, especially the poor, they will not be left behind in what he said is the fight not just against the COVID-19 but also against hopelessness.
I will just say to my countrymen that do not despair. Kaya natin ito, COVID na ito. Maliit na bagay ito sa buhay natin. Marami tayong dinaanan, mas grabe, mas mahirap, mas na magluluha kayo. Saka, I know, lahat kayo, lalo na mga kababayan ko nandyan sa Escobar area, lahat kayo, huwag kayong matakot at hindi ko kayo iwanan.
The President said all government agencies must contribute to make the vaccination program a success. For MB Now, this is Janeline Kabiling reporting.
The country is expecting the delivery of around 2.3 million doses of anti-coronavirus disease vaccines within the month, as disclosed by Vaccine Czar Carlito Galvez Jr. Monday night, March 15. Galvez said that a total of 1.4 million doses of coronavac vaccines from China-based Sinovac Biotech will be delivered to the country later this month. Of these, a total of 400,000 vials will come as donation from the Chinese government, while 1 million doses will come as government procurement from Sinovac Biotech through the Department of Health. Meanwhile, Galvez said that 979,200 doses from AstraZeneca, a British-Swedish drug maker, will be shipped to the country on March 22. The shipment is the second tranche of the vaccine supply secured by the government from the COVAX facility. If the shipments are fulfilled, this would raise the total vaccines acquired by the government to 3,504,800, enough to vaccinate all the 1.7 million medical frontliners in the country. Since February, the government has received 1,125,600 vaccine doses from two sources, 600,000 vials from China's donations and 525,600 doses from AstraZeneca. Galvez said that all the AstraZeneca vaccines should be used immediately to avoid a possible delay in the delivery of the second tranche of vaccines from the COVAX facility. Duterte welcomed the recommendation of Galvez as he ordered the Health Secretary, Francisco Duque III, to ensure the equal distribution of all the vaccines around the country. The country's coronavirus disease reproduction number has reached 2.03, which means more people are being infected, according to Octa Research. The Octa Research team's original projection over the weekend showed that the country may have 8,000 to 9,000 daily cases of COVID-19 by the end of March if the current reproduction number of 1.9 is maintained. The Department of Health on Monday, March 15, reported a total of 5,404 new COVID-19 infections, the highest so far in 2021. David noted that the outbreak that started in some communities in Pasay City, Malabon City, and Navotas City has now spread to many areas of the National Capital Region. David also observed that the increase in new COVID-19 cases is not just happening in NCR, but is also happening in many areas in Calabarzon like Rizal and Cavite and parts of Bulacan. A slight uptick was also noted in Cebu City. David attributed the faster spread of the disease to increased mobility and decreased compliance with minimum public health protocols. The increase in the number of cases, David said, can also be attributed in part, at least, to the presence of several variants of COVID-19. More than 3,000 people were either arrested or warned during the first day of the implementation of the uniform curfew hours in Metro Manila, according to the police on Tuesday, March 16. Based on the data of the National Capital Region Police Office, a total of 547 people were also warned and were advised not to violate the curfew hours from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. More than 9,000 police personnel were deployed in the streets of Metro Manila to man hundreds of checkpoints and conduct patrol operations to compel people not to go out for unnecessary movement. From 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., the uniform curfew hours was implemented. Lieutenant General Guillermo Lorenzo Eleazar, officer in charge of the PNP, appealed to the public to respect the rules on curfew and minimum health safety standard protocols and to respect the authorities enforcing the rules and protocols in order to ensure the smooth implementation. Meanwhile, starting Wednesday, March 17, minors will be banned anew from going outside their residences, according to Metropolitan Manila Development Authority. MMDA said that the Metro Manila Council is drafting a resolution prohibiting minors, particularly aged 15 to 17, to go outdoors for a period of 2 weeks. This will be implemented in all the 17 cities and lone municipality in the NCR. This means that only individuals aged 18 to 65 years old are allowed to go outside their homes. According to MMDA Chairman Benar Abalos, the move has been agreed upon by the MMC in a bid to contain the transmission of the virus in the metropolis. In Metro News, MPD Station 11 placed under lockdown after 46 cops test positive for COVID-19. Mayor Vico tests negative for COVID-19. And Caloocan City celebrates first Frontliners Day. More from this report.
The Manila Police District or MPD Station 11 in Binondo was placed under lockdown on Monday, March 15 after 46 out of 121 policemen tested positive for COVID-19. Manila Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso was informed by MPD Director Police Brigadier General Leo Francisco on Monday that MPD Station 11 will be placed under a special quarantine and all the activities on the said station are suspended until further notice. Continuous disinfection will be conducted on the area, while the police officers who tested negative for COVID-19 will continue their duties. After being exposed to his COVID-stricken driver, Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto on Monday tested negative for COVID-19. The mayor announced this on Twitter after receiving the result of his RT-PCR tests. On Saturday, March 13, the 50-year-old Veneer Molo, driver of Soto for 5 years, died after he was tested positive for COVID-19. Mayor Vico Soto expressed gratitude to all people for their messages and prayers while he is under quarantine. Soto said he will finish his quarantine until March 24, which in accordance with the health guidelines of the Department of Health. The local government of Caloocan City celebrated on Monday, March 15, its first Frontliners Day to honor those who served the city during the Enhanced Community Quarantine or ECQ period, which was imposed amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Mayor Oka Malapitan led the awarding of the Frontliners together with the author of the ordinance, Councilor Vince Hernandez, and other city government officials. Some of the awardees even got infected as they led the fight against the virus, the local government said. On March 3, the Frontliners Day ordinance was passed to honor the hard work and sacrifices of all frontliners who serve the people of the city. Malapitan meanwhile encouraged the residents to follow health protocols amid the rising of COVID-19 active cases in the city.
Here are the top news in other parts of the country. 2 Kalinga COVID-19 patients confirmed to be UK variant carriers. Iloilo City border road closed for a week. And more sightings of pilot whales reported in Sarangani Bay. Here are the details.
The Rural Health Unit of Lubuagan Town in the province of Kalinga has started tracing the contacts of 2 coronavirus disease patients confirmed to be infected with the B117 United Kingdom variant. The 2 confirmed cases are both males aged 5 and 7 years old, both residents of Poblacion, Lubuagan. They were confirmed positive for COVID-19 on February 17 and since then were under isolation. The provincial government also said that Kalinga Governor Ferdinand Tuban has urged the regional health unit and the local government of Lubuagan to work together to facilitate the rapid contact tracing to immediately identify those who need to be quarantined and tested so that further transmission of the infection can be stopped. A road connecting Iloilo City and neighboring Pavia Town have been temporarily closed as part of the ongoing construction of a 480 million pesos flyover. According to the Iloilo City Government's Public Safety and Transportation Management Office, the workers will be installing the girders of the flyover at the junction of the Ungka-2 Circumferential Road. The road is a major gateway for both public and private vehicles coming from towns in central Iloilo Province and going to Iloilo City and vice versa. The closure began on Monday, March 15 and will last until Sunday, March 21. More and more marine mammals continue to thrive in the area of Sarangani Bay in Mindanao. Monitoring done by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources in Region 12 from March 8 to 12 reveals fresh sightings of at least 30 pilot whales in the seas of the municipalities of Maasim, Kiamba, and Maitum in Sarangani. Superintendent of the Sarangani Bay Protected Seascape, Joy Ologuin, said that the whales were frequently sighted in the bay hunting for food and nursing their calves. Just last month, the agency reported sightings of around 300 whales and dolphins in a series of monitoring in the coastal waters of Glan and Malapatan towns, the biggest in the Sarangani Bay.
And in world news, several countries halting AstraZeneca vaccine due to numerous side effects. Biden's immigration policy takes heat as migrant levels soar. And Norway penguins get vaccinated. Isolation nearly over. Let's watch this report.
A dozen countries including France, Italy, and Germany have suspended AstraZeneca's COVID-19 shots because of fears over blood clots and other possible side effects. The company insisted on Monday there is no risks and said that they are going beyond the standard practices for safety monitoring of licensed medicines in reporting vaccine events to ensure public safety. World Health Organization, whose experts meet on Tuesday, has said countries should continue to use the vaccine. President Joe Biden faced mounting pressure Monday from Republicans over his handling of surge in migrants, including thousands of unaccompanied children arriving at the U.S.-Mexican border. While successive administrations have dealt with seasonal spikes in migration, Biden's critics claim he has driven the latest uptick by taking a softer stance on the flashpoint issue that his predecessor Donald Trump. On January 20, his first day in office, Biden scrapped several of Trump's contentious immigration policies, including halting new construction of border wall and proposing legislation to create a citizenship pathway for the nearly 11 million people living illegally in the U.S. White House spokesperson Jen Psaki said Biden had inherited a dismantled and unworkable system from Trump. 29 penguins have been living under strict confinement measures for months, but soon the second shot of a life-saving vaccine will let them go outside and get back to their normal lives. The penguins at Norway's Bergen Aquarium had a tarp stretch over their pen since early December after cases of highly infectious bird flu strain H5 and 8 were detected in the country. None of the Bergen Aquarium caught the flu, and while the disease can be devastating for birds, transmission to humans is rare.
In entertainment, K-pop superstars BTS said they felt disappointed when they failed to win at the 63rd Grammy Awards, but assured fans that they were okay and that they were very proud that they were nominated and performed at the ceremony. BTS was nominated for Best Pop Duo or Group Performance for their hit song Dynamite, making history as the first K-pop act to receive a Grammy nomination. Rain on Me by Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande won the said category. BTS held a live broadcast after the Grammy Awards to explain to fans how they felt and thank them for their support. Members expressed their disappointment knowing that their fans will be disappointed and that they were worried for them. To appease fans and to show that everything is okay, they said they have to go there next year and get the award in person. They also said that they are happy to perform at the Grammy stage as this was something that they have been dreaming of doing. In sports, Davao Occidental did not need to break a sweat to enter the MPBL Lacan Cup National Finals as it won the South Division title against Basilan by default on Tuesday, March 16. This after MPBL Commissioner Kenneth Doremdes confirmed that 4 members of the Basilan Steel tested positive for COVID-19 from their re-swab last Monday, prompting the league to crown the Tigers as the South Division Kings for the second straight season. It was a disappointing development for Basilan, which pulled all the stops to make it to the MPBL bubble in Subic, only to find out that 2 of its players were positive of the novel coronavirus. With the effortless victory, Davao arranged a grudge rematch against defending champion San Juan in the best-of-5 national finals, which will start on Wednesday, March 17, 4 p.m. at the Subic Bay Gymnasium. And those are the news on web today, March 16, 2021. For more news and details, get your copy of the Manila Bulletin newspaper tomorrow or log on to www.mb.com.ph. You may also subscribe to our newsletter through the link on this video's caption to have the day's latest news delivered to your inbox. I am Barbie Atienza for Manila Bulletin. Join us again tomorrow. This has been MB Now. Be fully informed.